Hello everybody, this is Rudra Pradhan, course instructor of Business Analytics for Management Decision. First of all, thank you everybody for choosing this subject and welcome you all to these lectures. We are about to start our first lecture and we like to highlight the details before we start the introductory lecture. So, let me first give you the details course plan. So, we have altogether 12 weeks schedule. So, in the first week we will start with introduction to business analytics, second week exploring data and analytics on spreadsheets. Then in the analytics sides we have altogether 4 modules. First module descriptive analytics, that will be covered on week 3. Then second module will be inferential analytics, that will be covered on week 3, week 4 and week 5. And next will be predictive analytics. We have week 6, week 7 and week 8 respectively. Then we have prescriptive analytics, these are 3 modules. So, we have week 9, week 10 and week 11 respectively, and then finally, we have decision analytics, that will be on week 12. So, these are all our course plans. So, today we start with the introduction to business analytics and that too the first week course contents. So, here we have the details, the structure which we like to discuss for this first week. We have altogether 5 different lectures. So, 5 lectures will be covered through all these components. So, first component is what is all about business analytics, second one evaluation of business analytics, then third module will be classification of business analytics, then we will cover trends of business analytics, next framework of business analytics, then scope of business analytics, then data understanding for business analytics, and we have decision models, and then finally, problem solving and decision making. In fact, the course has 2 different contents. So, business analytics and then management decision. So, that means by default the course has 2 divisions, business analytics and management decision. So, the literary meaning of this particular subject or the basic objective of this course is to take a management decision by using analytics tools. Of course, this is related to some of the business problems. So, that means we technically have some kind of business problems and corresponding the availability of data. Then the idea is we like to choose some kind of analytics, maybe descriptive analytics, maybe inferential analytics, maybe descriptive analytics, maybe prescriptive analytics to solve this business problem, and then finally, we will come to take a management decisions. Since all the business problems are very complex and with respect to dynamics and the changing environment. So, the complexity, the degree of complexity is very high. So, as a result we need some kind of analytics tool to solve these business problems, that means the complex business problems. So, now before we start the particular structures, so let us know first what is all about the analytics and what are the scopes and what are the kind of trends. Once you acquainted with all these analytics concept, then we will go to some kind of application area. So, let us first know what is exactly business analytics and how is this kind of trend, and then it is the application area. So, let us start with the first what is all about business analytics. So, the first lecture of course, I have already highlighted. So, we have 5 different lectures for this unit, and this is the first lecture, and that too basics of business analytics. So, let me first highlight what are the items we are supposed to discuss in this particular module. So, first thing we like to know the structure of or the definition of business analytics, then we will cover the importance, historical trend of business analytics, then classification of tools, that is business analytics tools, and then some business applications. So, business analytics by default is a multidimensional concept. We have a plenty of definitions to define the term business analytics. So, the simple language or the simple understanding is that it is the discovery and communication of meaningful patterns of data, and that too some business related problems. There are various definitions are readily available by different authors, and one such definition I am citing here is like this: business analytics is the scientific process of transferring data into insight for making better decisions. This is derived from informs. So, now by these definitions, it is altogether movement from data to wisdom. So, in between, so we have information, knowledge, and then we will come to wisdom. So, that means data will give you basic hint, then information to understand the particular concept, then knowledge means we will get some kind of insights, then wisdom means we are going to take some kind of better decisions or reliable decisions, which may be as per our requirement, or definitely which will be useful for this for any kind of problems which you like to highlight or we like to address. So, business analytics is the extensive use of data, statistical tools, quantitative tools, then explanatory and predictive models, and facts based management to derive decisions and to take some kind of actions. So, altogether business analytics is the set of couple of attributes. So, first attribute is the data, which is the pillar of this particular business analytics and business analytics for management decision. Then information technology, statistical analysis, quantitative methods, and mathematical or computer based models. The idea is to help managers to get improved insight about their business operations and make better facts based decisions. So, that means technically, so we have to integrate all these components or attributes to get some kind of management insights, which initially in hidden, and then with the help of some kind of tools or some kind of strategy, we will like to highlight or we like to search for the exact insights. So, accordingly we can take some kind of management decisions. So, also so the definition itself clarifies that it has lots of kind of solid structure through which we can get some kind of management decision. So, I like to highlight here some of the application through which business analytics can be applied. So, these areas are pricing decisions, financial and marketing activities, supply chain management, management of customer relationship, human resource management, enterprise resource planning, that is ERP. That means, technically see the structure is the management decision. So, that means, this particular tools, that is the business analytics tools, can be applied to all kinds of management. It may be marketing, it may be a human resource, it may be finance, it may be operations, but it is like called as a potato. It can be connected to any kinds of management problems. Only requirement is you have to understand the problem, then you have to know all these business analytics tools, and you must be in a position to pick up a particular tool as per the particular requirement. So, once you understand the problem, and if you have a knowledge on business analytics tools, then only requirement is how to connect this particular tools to business problems, and then by default we will get some kind of insights. So, once you do this process, then you are in a position to take better management decisions. So, so far as importance is concerned, there of course, I have already highlighted these are the areas which you can actually apply business analytics, but by the way, so it has lots of importance. Why you need actually business analytics, whether it is in marketing or whether it is in operation or whether it is in finance or any kind of HR OB problems. So, we need actually analytics. So, definitely there is some objectives. So, the basic objective is to take management decisions or better decision. So, now why and for what grounds. So, this the idea is that in any kind of business, so revenue is the key component or profit is the key component. So, business analytics can be applied to optimize revenue, to optimize profit or to minimize cost. Again, some of the important items like shareholder returns, vendor selections. So, these are the items you can forecast in a better way, or you can take a decision in a more in a attractive way. So, that means in looking to these problems or these problem areas with a simple understanding, you may not be in a position to take a good decisions or better decision. So, business analytics is a kind of supporting component. So, it will help you lot to take a better decisions. Some of the things may be or some of the insights may be hidden, and with the help of business analytics you can find out the hidden pictures, and then you may be in a position to highlight or to take better management decisions. It can increase the understanding of the data. Sometimes the data may be means readily available with respect to marketing problems or finance problem or operation problems, but once you go through all these data through some kind of analytics tools, maybe descriptive analytics, maybe inferential analytics, maybe predictive analytics, then you can understand in a much better way. So, initially by look you cannot understand properly what are the insights in the particular data set. Then with the help of analytics analytical tools, you can get better insights, and with the help of these insights you can take a better decisions. So, similarly business analytics is a vital tool for business to remain productive and competitive. So, that means it is a kind of why you need actually better management decision, because analytics tools will give you some kind of foundations, and it will give you some kind of strategic decisions through which your management decision will be more attractive, or it will be what we can say that it will be very excellent as per requirement. Sometimes we will get some kind of quantitative judgment from the business analytics. Then with the help of quantitative judgment, then we can put some kind of qualitative judgment, and then finally you are in a better position to address the problems in much attractive way. So, these are the things we have we can justify that business analytics has a lots of importance, particularly managerial problems or business related problems. So, so accordingly, so we are here to know some of the business analytics tools, and then we will connect some of the business related problems. So, now I will here give you some kind of hint about the historical trend about the business analytics. So, it is not something new actually. So, it started long back. So, historically, so the first structure about the business analytics starting with time study exercise by Taylor. Then historically it has a connection with the operation research. management science, and again with the help of information communication technology. So, the picture or the particular component is more highlighted, or the importance is again more more significant. Then business intelligence, decision support system, and then with the evaluation of personal computer softwares. So, that means technically, so today's world we have a plenty of softwares. So, with the help of softwares, or with the readily availability of softwares, so now the business analytics and the data and the kind of business related problems. So, it is a kind of challenge, and by default it is the kind of like demonstration kind of things. We will get some kind of insight, and then with the help of all these insights, we are in a position to address certain problems. So, that means it will give you some kind of attractive exposures through which you can solve or solve some of the business related problem. Say means what you can say that it is a kind of supply driven kind of environment. Since all these things are readily available, so it will attract the party to come forward and to solve the business problems, right. So, this is how, so we can say that there is a high importance of business analytics in the recent environment, or we in the digital economic, or we can say that in the ICT environment. So, now historically again, so this is how the trends which we have already highlighted, and historically it has started from 1900, then till today the growth is a growth of analytics is in a kind of increasing rate. So, so it is, the trend is actually very significant now, and with the help of again what I have mentioned, digital economic, and then the availability of softwares, availability of data. So, now the particular tool baskets or the particular field is a very high value or high importance. So, that is how we are here to know all these techniques, and we will connect some of the business problem, so that we can know how it is happening, and what are the ways we can solve some of the business problems. So, now in the next component we like to highlight here the divisions or classification of business analytics. So, what I have already mentioned, that business analytics there is a history behind it, and then here we will classify some of the tools as per the particular requirement. So, by default here we have a 3 different classifications so far as the business analytics is concerned. So, the first division is the descriptive analytics, second division is the predictive analytics, and third division is the prescriptive analytics. In the descriptive analytics, so the idea is just to use data and then to understand the past and present pattern. So, what will this is just like inspections, eye inspection, just you look into the data, then you understand the past and present scenario, because usually data is recorded over the time, then by default we call as a historical data. So, now when data is recorded over the time, then obviously there is a past and there is a present. So, we like to know what is the past trend and we like what is the present trend. So, the information basket will give you some kind of inference. So, in the so accordingly we will prepare, analyze as per the particular business requirement. Then second one is the predictive analytics. So, here we like to analyze the past performance of a particular business problem, then we like to predict the futures. So, now when you have actually past informations, then you can understand the past pattern, and then on the basis of past trend, then you can actually predict the future one. But over the times when we are looking for a particular business problem, so within the particular problems we have a several variables which may have some kind of relationship. Until unless you establish this relationship, you are not in a position to predict the future. So, now we are that is how we are in the process of knowing predictive analytics. It is not just to know the past trend and to present trend, then we are here to know the a possibility of relationship among various problems, and that to business related issues. So, now so the last one is the prescriptive analytics. Here we like to use optimization techniques to address the business problem. So, that means, so historically or so far as structure is concerned, business analytics structures is concerned. So, we have a three different altogether. So, first one is the descriptive one, then the second one is the predictive one, then the third one is the prescriptive one. In the descriptive one, just we have to look into the particular data, then connect with the particular business problem. So, so it is just kind of informal kind of message to indicate something. So, but predictive analytics will establish the relationship with the help of data and with the help of business problem, and then it will help to predict the futures. So, now once you find out the past trend, present trend and the future trend, then on the basis of that, then we have a prescriptive analytics to take a decision what are the possible values or decision variables or decision kind of things, so that management can be reached at the highest level. So, that is how the broad objective of this particular subject, that is the business analytics. So, that means, these three analytics has a high correlations or so the ultimate structure is the prescriptive analytics, but prescriptive analytics has a connection with the predictive analytics and predictive analytics has a connection with the descriptive analytics. So, if you miss any one, then you may not in a position to highlight the problems in a more attractive way. So, that is why, so what is the suggestion that you are supposed to look into the data, then connect with the descriptive analytics, connect with the predictive analytics, then connect with prescriptive analytics. This is how you have to reach a destiny, and then that destiny will give you some kind of better decisions, and on the basis of decision you can actually predict your business performance. So, I am here to highlight some of the important applications. So, like whatever we have discussed, the kind of structure, the classification, history and the kind of connectivity. So, now I will give you some of the practical areas where actually business analytics are frequently used. So, some of the important applications, and this is basically industry specific. So, we have a plenty of examples and some of the important one we are highlighting here. So, first one is the McDonald's, Walmart, then Procter & Gamble's, Coca-Cola, Southwest Airlines, Amazon, Giants Bank, Aurora Healthcare, and then I will go in details. So, to know how actually these are all these companies are applying business analytics to predict certain things. For instance, McDonald it is a company name, and they use the business analytics tools for their industry, food and beverage. So, just to understand the business reality or business environment, since it is actually food and beverage industry. So, now obviously, the first hand requirement is to go for customer satisfactions. So, that is the customer side, and again so far as industry is concerned, they have to look into their profit side. So, with the help of business analytics, so they are in a position to detect how to go for customer satisfaction. So, until unless you go for customer satisfaction, then company may not actually reach in a position to enhance their sales and enhance their profit. So, here I am citing some of the examples connected to McDonald's, and that too they use through business analytics to predict certain situations. So, here with assessing data on consumer behaviors, company can, that means McDonald can learn what promotes a customer to stick around longer, as well as learn more about their customer features and pursuing habits in order to improve marketing efforts and boost profits. That is what I have already explained. So, generally, so these are the industry, that means the corporate environment slightly different than other environment, because the beauty of this corporate environment, that is or business environment, is they have plenty of data, and some data are already recorded, and some data are with the help of digital economic now on the process actually. So, that means over the time. So, we have actually plenty of availability of data. For instance, the industry like McDonald, so they have the data every hours, or every hour, every day, month basis, day basis, week basis, annually. So, it has beautiful classification so far as the data structure is concerned. So, these are, that is how analytics can be applied here in a big way to solve their problems. Of course, they are they are doing their best in the competitive environment, but still business analytics can help them more competitive, and that too they can attract more customers, and that's at the same times they can also enhance their profit circles. The second modules is Almart, and this is the company, and they apply business analytics in their retail sectors. So, again same way. So, they are assessing the data from the customers from multiple sources, such as social media data, transaction history, companies, means with the help of social data and transaction history, the company can better create a better segment and target their customers. Obviously, in business, market segmentation, customer attractions are very keywords, and sometimes without the help of business analytics tools. So, we are not in a position to have a good market segmentations or good customer attraction strategy. So, we must have some kind of plans, and that too with the help of business analytics tool to take some kind of better decisions. The another example is a Procter and Gamble, and that too they apply a business analytics tools for their household retail sectors. Again similar strategy. So, they try to assess the data, and they can go for optimizing their product selections, then pricings, whether they will go for differential pricing policy or uniform pricing policy, or some kind of customer attraction strategy. So, that means these are the areas so every companies are trying to explore. So, by simple structures you are not in a position to find out to a better management decisions. So, business analytics again help them to come to their particular objective, so far as maximizing their profit is concerned and attracting customer is concerned. The another example is again Coca-Cola, and they it is a very interesting way they have applied the business analytics, and they have actually created a kind of toolbox or algorithm they can connect with satellite. So, they which can predict the crop yields, consumer preference, and details about their flavor, and that makes the kind of product as per the customer requirement. So, that is how what I can say, that business analytics has a several kind of importance in real life scenario. So, it is the requirement is how to apply and how to integrate your business in a more attractive is the key kind of requirement. So, we have to think how we can actually connect. Sometimes some of the industry they have the data, but they have no idea how to connect and how to predict the situation as per the business requirement. Of course, these are the big companies, they have their particular strategy, but the fact is that this particular field, business analytics field, is it is emerging like anything, and with the help of softwares and then digital economics. So, the scope and the kind of the use is much higher, and that too in a different way. In 20 to 30 years back, we may not have actually solid software to apply these techniques to predict certain kind of business related problems. But nowadays with the help of softwares and the ICT technology, so we are in a better position to connect the data, connect the techniques, and to predict the business problems or business objectives. So that means in totals, so what I can do, we can summarize that business analytics can give better decisions once you properly connect with the data, connect with the techniques, and connect with a particular business problems. It is not the connection to a particular business problem. So, you have to first understand the business problem, and then we have to understand the business analytics, and then you have to understand the business data. So, now all these three should go together, or they can go parallelly. So, that you are in a position to analyze, predict, and then you can optimize as per the business requirement. So, likewise, so we have couple of other examples, so which I have already highlighted. So, the same way, so they have actually applied business analytics, and then they they try to increase their profit levels by increasing sales, reducing cost, and attracting customers. So, these are common objectives or broad objectives of every industry. So, now so they are on the way how to actually optimize all these things, but but still business analytics can be applied in more in depth, and then they can get better insights, and then they can predict accordingly as per their requirements. So, likewise, some of the other important areas also, like security threats prediction, etc., by Amazon, then fraud detections by these giants banks. So, likewise, we have a couple of, this is a healthcare industry, and sometimes they use business analytics to to understand the health environment, and then accordingly they can predict their business structures. So, this is another examples. So, and with this we can we can summarize here, or closing this particular lecture. Thank you everybody, have a nice day.